Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's Lou Tompkins All-Star League 18 and Under Summer Baseball Contest as part of Day 1 of the 2023 Lou Tompkins A-Division Tournament of Champions. Today's contest pits the visiting 6th-seeded Billerica team and hosting 3rd-seeded Brookline. It's been a long, fun season throughout this summer, but now here we are with the postseason upon us. This Tournament of Champions works as a very simple double elimination tournament wherein you play, and if you win twice, you'll play a max of 3 games. Once you win 2 games, you are automatically qualified for the semifinals that will take place this weekend. However, if you lose twice, then you are eliminated and your season is over. So these 2 teams will both be looking to get into the winner's bracket with a win here today. We see Brookline taking the field. Starting on the mound for Brookline today is number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan, making just his 2nd pitching appearance of the summer, his first start. He made a 2-inning appearance earlier this summer in relief, ended up with the loss. He's got an ERA of 7.00 and a WHIP of 2.00. So small sample size to work off of, but he'll certainly be looking for a better result here as Brookline's starter today. These 2 teams have faced off twice in the regular season, Brookline coming out on top both times. The first game out in Billerica back in July, it was kind of an error-filled mess for both sides back on July 13. Brookline ended up getting the win 12-8. And of those 20 combined runs between the 2 teams, 12 of them were unearned. That's just how messy of a game it was from both sides, really. They faced off in a rematch here at Warren Field back on August 3rd, so last week, as a matter of fact, very recently. Brookline came out with the win by a final score of 7-1. Much cleaner game between the 2 teams. Very strong defensively for both sides, but Brookline finally broke things open with a 3-run double by Jimmy DiPaolo and later added a couple of insurance runs off a 2-run single from Colin Gibbons. So we'll see what these 2 teams have in store for us here today in what is effectively the rubber match of sorts. Well, I mean, not really. That was the wrong term, actually. Rubber match is when you're tied 1-1. So Billerica looking for payback from 2 regular season losses. Brookline hoping to keep their momentum going as we are about to get this one underway. Leading off for Billerica is number 27, Jamieson. Jamieson, of course, was the leadoff hitter for Billerica in the game last week against Brookline back here at Warren. He finished that game 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. First pitch of the game. In there, strike 1. And this one's a hard shot right up the middle to center. That's going to be a leadoff single for Jamieson. Laser of a shot to start off the inning for Billerica. And a throwback to first. Jamieson gets back safely. Now at the plate is number 26, Calzini. Takes strike 1. Billerica coming at them with a very similar batting order that they had last week, as Calzini was also batting second behind Jamieson last time. Jamieson taking off for second, pitches in for a strike. Throw is not going to be in time and is wide and into center field. Jamieson thought about taking off, but doesn't get very far. So that'll be an 0-2 count. Jamieson successful in his steal of second. And just like that, Billerica with a runner in scoring position. Calzini coming off an 0-for-3 performance here in Brookline last week. He'll be hoping to do something to move his teammate along the bases here. That one sails, and the wild pitch is going to move Jamieson to third. Runner at third now, 1-2, the count to Calzini. And he chases it low, strike three. It was dropped by the catcher. They're trying to catch the runner between third and home, but it's an erroneous throw, and in comes Jamieson, and Calzini's going to move down to second. It is a dropped third strike that gives this game its first run. Brookline didn't want to leave home plate uncovered with Jamieson at third, and so they went after Jamieson instead of Calzini, but a bad throw results in everyone being able to reach, and Jamieson coming in to score. Now batting is number 11, Poirier, and he is facing an 0-2 count. Poirier 1-for-3 with a run scored last week against Brookline. Fouls this one off to stay alive at 0-2. Poirier also played in the first game between these two teams out in Billerica. He was 1-for-4 with a steal and an RBI in that one, so he's found a way to contribute to the offense in both previous games against Brookline. Now up with an 0-2 count and a runner at second. And that one is in there for strike three. Sheehan catches the outside corner, and this strikeout will hold for the first out. Looks like the Billerica coach is appealing something. Might have been looking for a balk call against Sheehan. And there's going to be a discussion on this. If this does get turned into a balk, that will move Calzini down to third, and it would put Poirier back at the plate. But it looks like they're going to hold the no balk call, and we're going to keep going here. One down, runner at second. Now batting is number 13, D'Angelo. First pitch fouled, strike one. D'Angelo last week against Brookline had a big RBI double, but that ended up being Billerica's only run in that game. He was 1-for-2 with that RBI double. Now up with a runner in scoring position and one down. Hard grounder here, and that's going to get past Engelman and into left field as it dies on the grass. And D'Angelo is going to reach, borderline hit, error call, but I think I would give him the hit that time. That one just took a weird bounce right around the hot line, the hot corner, that is. But actually, Game Changers got him reaching on an E5. So now batting number 17, Mello. Runners at first and third. D'Angelo taking off for second. And they're going to try for second. It's cut off. They're going to try for home, and that throw sails, and they can't get the tag down in time. Billerica once again winning on the base paths. 2-0, Billerica now at the lead. Brookline looking sloppy with their throws so far, as everything about that cutoff play was good conceptually but bad in execution. The pitch itself was a ball, so it's a 1-0 count to Mello with a runner at second, one out, and Billerica now up 2-0. Attempted pickoff. Closer than you might expect on a pickoff play at second, but still, D'Angelo gets back safe. That one's going to get away. D'Angelo down to third on the wild pitch. Second wild pitch of the inning for Mayfield-Sheehan, and now Coach John Busey coming out to talk to his team, as they have really sputtered out of the gate defensively. I mean, you think about how sharp they were defensively last week against Billerica, and I know the weather has been less than ideal today, but Coach Busey knows his team can play better than this. I mean, first the erroneous throw trying to catch the runner at third on the drop to third strike, then two back-to-back high throws on that attempted cutoff play on Billerica's double steal, and combine that with a pair of wild pitches. I mean, give Billerica credit. You know, they're hustling around the bags, and they are forcing Brookline to play their best, and Brookline has not answered that call so far, and Billerica's taken advantage. That one is going to miss, and it's a 3-0 count to Mello. That one catches the high corner for strike one. But that one is going to miss way low and outside for ball four. Drew Mello drawing the free pass. And once again, Billerica with runners at the corners. And now coming up to the plate is number 8, Ronzio. Mello's taking off immediately, and they fake the throw this time. They're just going to let Mello go to second. Second and third now. Thomas Ronzio at the plate. That one in there for strike one. Ronzio last week against Brookline was 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch, and back in July he was 0 for 3 with a run scored and an RBI against Brookline. Fouls this one off for strike two. One out, runners at second and third. Billerica up 2-0 here in the top of the first. And that one's tipped, and Ronzio stays alive at 1-2. Swing and a miss. Big strikeout for Sheehan. Ronzio down swinging for the second out of the inning. Two down, runners at second and third. Now up is number 2, P. Diorsi. First pitch is high for ball 1. That one in there, strike 1. P. Diorsi last week against Brookline was 0 for 1. And before that, back in July, 1 for 2 with a walk, a run, and an RBI. As that one misses for ball 2. Reaches out and lifts one into shallow right, but well tracked by the second baseman, James Skeffington, for out number 3. Billerica aggressive on the base paths to jump out to a 2-0 lead in the top of the first inning. And on the one hand, Brookline very unlucky to be down 1 after the first frame, but on the other hand, they're kind of lucky to only be down 2. You know, both teams got a little bit of luck in that first frame there. With Brookline due up in the bottom of the first, let's take a look at the starting lineup for Brookline today. Leading off for Brookline, the shortstop, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Batting third, the left fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. Batting cleanup, the center fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 28, Michael Doherty. Batting sixth, the pitcher, number 7, Caden Sheehan. Batting seventh, the extra hitter, number 21, Jimmy DiPaolo. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 2, Charlie Engelman. And batting 10th, the second baseman, number 12, James Skeffington. So due up in the bottom of the first for Brookline will be Sawada, Doctoroff, and Liu. Starting on the mound for Billerica, they got a lefty on the hill to start us off. That's number 11. That's Poirier, who is starting on the mound. Leading off for Brookline, the shortstop, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch, and Sawada lines it right to the shortstop, and he catches it right around the shoestrings for out number 1. A nice catch by Drew Mello. 1 pitch, 1 out. Poirier's got to be happy about that one. Now batting the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Doctoroff led Brookline in hits in the regular season with 15. As he takes strike 1 there. In the regular season, Doctoroff hit 357 batting average, 438 on base, 381 slugging, had 6 steals, 11 runs scored, and 8 RBI. takes strike 2 there. Behind in the count, 1-2. Last week against Billerica, Doctoroff went 2 for 4 with a steal and a run, but was 0 for 5 on the road against Billerica as he takes one in the dirt for ball 2. So Doctoroff hoping for a result a little bit closer to last week's game against Billerica than what he had in the road game against Billerica. Fouls that one off to stay alive at 2-2. And Doctoroff skies this one. It's going to stay in play. And the first baseman, Boldebuck, takes it for out number 2. Two down for Brookline. Base is empty. Up comes the left fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. First pitch misses, ball 1. Liu led Brookline in on-base percentage during the regular season at .667, had a batting average and slugging percentage of .467 as he takes ball 2 there. He had 8 steals, 9 runs scored, and 2 RBI. That one just misses. 3-0. That one in there for strike 1. And that hits him. Caught Liu on the elbow, and he'll trot down to first with the free pass. Now 2 down, runner at first, and up comes the center fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Hoffman had a team-leading 10 RBI in the regular season, hit with a slash line of 289, 386, 316. Had 4 steals and 7 runs scored. Big swing, got a piece of it, but just fouled off for strike 1. Justin Liu, potentially dangerous on the base paths. Like I said before, had 8 stolen bases. That was second on the team behind only Keenan Sawada. He's got a big lead off from first. And he dives back because, while he may be dangerous on the base paths, Justin Poirier, as a southpaw pitcher, very dangerous for any runners on first that are getting any funny ideas. That one is high for ball 1, and you could see that Justin Liu couldn't really take a full hop away from first as Poirier was going through his windup. That one catches the corner for strike 2 to Hoffman. 1-2 the count. And that, Liu dives back safe. One and two the count, 2 down, runner at first. Liu takes off, but he catches the corner for strike 3. Got him with the dipping curveball there. And we are through 1. And the 6th-seeded Billerica team showing they are not going to back down from the challenge against third-seeded Brookline. They take a 2-0 lead through the first frame. Brookline already making a change on the mound. They've moved Sheehan out to short. They've moved Sawada over to second. They've put James Skeffington into the outfield. And coming to the plate for Brookline, coming to the mound for Brookline, rather, is number 15, Owen Hoffman. This is Hoffman's first relief appearance of this summer. He had 3 starts during the regular season. Pitched 14 innings, which was second on the team behind only Charlie Engelman. Posted a 2-1 record with an ERA of 2.00, a whip of 1.43, and 14 strikeouts. So Brookline not waiting to go to the bullpen there. So the full defensive change is Hoffman for Sheehan on the mound. Sheehan moves over to short. Sawada moves from short to second. Skeffington moves from second to left. And Liu moves from left to center. Leading off for Billerica is going to be the first baseman, number 5, Boldebuck. Boldebuck last week against Brookline was a late game pinch hitter and was 0 for 1 at the plate. Now leading off here in the top of the second. And he gets hit right in the head. No, that hit his bat. That hit off the end of his bat as he was ducking underneath the high pitch. That counts as a foul ball and strike 1. You are not going to see that play often. Swing and a miss. He chases the high heat. Behind in the count, 0-2. Chases high again, strike 3. 3 pitches. I don't think a single one was actually in the strike zone, but all 3 of them strikes for the 3-pitch strikeout. Now batting for Billerica, number 10, A. Rodriguez. That one misses high for ball 1. A. Rodriguez, a pinch hitter for Billerica last week, as he hits a grounder here over to short. A weird hop, and it's juggled by Sheehan, and he can't make the throw. Unlucky hop for Brookline off the infield, but you know what? That's part of the game. So Rodriguez will reach on the E6. And a bunt attempted down the third base line, picked up by Engelman, thrown to first. Good scoop by Rosenblatt to get the out at first base. As number 1, T. Rodriguez successfully lays down the sac bunt to move A. Rodriguez down to second, 2 down. And we cycle back around to the top of the order with the center fielder, number 27, Jamieson. First pitch low, ball 1. Jamieson, last inning, led off with a hard-liner single to center, stole second, moved to third on a wild pitch, and came in to score on a throwing error by the catcher. That one misses inside, briefly got away from the catcher. A. Rodriguez thought about it, but decided to hold. That one high and inside for ball 3. Hitters count here to Jamieson at 3-0. That one taken right down Broadway for strike 1. And an attempted pickoff at second. Rodriguez dives back safe. Count still 3-1. And it's a check swing grounder. Chased down by Hoffman, and he flips it to first for out number 3. The second time in one inning that a ball accidentally went off the bat of a Billerica hitter. And while some lucky bounces went both ways, ultimately, Billerica ends the inning with a runner stranded at second and no score. We move to the bottom of the second. Billerica still leading Brookline 2-0. We've got a couple of nice notes in the live chat from Barbara Jo Metzger. Go Brookline from Graham in Buffalo, New York. And from Kim Chung-sik, who I believe is tuning in all the way from California. A very simple, let's go Brookline. Thank you, as always, to everyone tuning in. Remember, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming sports live streams. And no matter who you're a fan of, no matter what team, no matter what player, I encourage you to bring those good supportive vibes in the live chat. You want to say go Brookline? Do it. You want to say go Billerica? Do it. You want to shout out your favorite player? Do it. Want to let us know where you're tuning in from? That's plenty of fun to be done with these online live streams where people can tune in from all over the world. In the meantime, in the bottom of the second, Poirier back on the hill for Billerica after a strong first inning. He'll be facing the 5, 6, 7 hitters for Brookline, Doherty, Sheehan, and DiPaolo. Leading off for Brookline here in the bottom of the second, the right fielder, number 28, Michael Doherty. First pitch, and he lifts it into shallow center, and it's going to drop in no man's land for a leadoff single. Doherty, who led the team in both batting average and slugging in the regular season, starts him off strong in the bottom of the second. Now batting the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. Pickoff attempt. Doherty not taking nearly as big a lead off from first as Lou did, but I mean, when you're a lefty pitcher and there's a runner on first, you know, you're not doing yourself any favors if you don't at least try and catch the runner. First pitch is fouled off by Sheehan, strike 1. Sheehan in the regular season hit with a slash line of 333, 394, 367, with 2 steals, 8 runs, and 9 RBI. That RBI mark good for second on the team. Hits a grounder here up the middle, flip to second. No, they missed! The exchange from second to short missed. And everyone gets to reach safely on the E4. Now batting, the extra hitter, number 21, Jimmy DiPaolo. Brief meeting at the mound with the entire infield. You know, maybe just resettle things, reassure your pitcher that, hey, you're doing all the right stuff here. You know, I mean, you haven't given up anything hard hit yet. You know, you got a bit of a bloop single into right center. And then outside of a throwing error on what could have almost been a double play potentially, but at least a fielder's choice. Outside of those 2 plays. But now with runners at first and second, DiPaolo steps in. DiPaolo, of course, the big hero of last week's game for Brookline as he drove in the go-ahead runs with a 3-run double deep to left. Shows bunt, lays it down. Picked up by Poirier, flipped to first. Almost pulled Boldebuck off the bag, but makes the stretch. And it'll be a simple sac bunt from DiPaolo. Now batting, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. Runners at second and third, 1 out. Brookline trying to get back in this game, currently trailing Billerica by 2. First pitch from Poirier is low. Rosenblatt in the regular season hit with a line of 290, 436, 290, 3 steals, 6 runs, and 6 RBI. Takes strike 1 there. Rosenblatt last week against Billerica was 0 for 0 with 2 walks and a run scored. And he lines one right to the second baseman. Pickoff attempt at third. And he's safe. That was a very close play at third for Doherty. But just barely manages to dive back. Big second out get for Billerica. Now at the plate, the third baseman, number 2, Charlie Engelman. Engelman, this is his first game back with the Lou Tompkins team in a little while as he takes strike 1 there. Engelman was tied for the team lead in doubles with 2 during the regular season, hit at a line of 273, 429, 364, 1 steal, 3 runs, 6 RBI. Hits a hard grounder, bounces past the third baseman, 1 run is in. Sheehan rounding third, trying to tie this one up. It's going to be close! And he's safe! He slid under the tag! Charlie Engelman with a huge single past the third baseman. Makes up for missing the grounder his way back in the first with a huge 2-run single to tie us up at 2 apiece. So with Engelman now advancing to second on the throw, now up is the left fielder, number 12, James Skeffington. Skeffington fouls this first pitch off for strike 1. That one in there, strike two. Skeffington quickly behind 0-2. During the season, Skeffington batting with a line of 280, 333, 280. 2 steals, 7 runs, 2 RBI. This one blocked by the catcher, but he lost track of it. Engelman going to go down to third on the wild pitch. Engelman representing the potential go-ahead run. That one going to miss outside for ball 2. 2-2, the count to Skeffington. Fouls this one off and stays alive. 2-2, still the count, 2 outs. Runner on third here in the bottom of the second. And to round out all the twos, we are tied at 2-2. And another foul ball. Skeffington almost fooled on the curve that time, but manages to get a piece of it and stay alive. That one comes in low for ball 3. Full count. And he lifts one into left center. Outfielders tracking it, and Jamieson's got it for out number 3. So Brookline answers back and ties it up at the end of 2. We're all squared at 2 apiece. A big hit from Charlie Engelman to tie things up in that inning. If you've been following Brookline summer baseball the past few years, you know that's nothing new for that young man. A couple years back, I don't remember who Brookline was playing, but they were playing for a chance to go to the semifinals, facing a highly ranked team in the second game, and Engelman had 4 RBI on the day, and it was a very close back-and-forth contest. He was very clutch that day, and he comes through clutch in that moment there. Due up in the top of the third for Billerica will be Calzini, Poirier, and D'Angelo. The officials discussing something. It's so interesting looking out on this field how dark and cloudy it is, how relatively cool it is today compared to what we've had all summer long. But the show goes on. Top of the third, leading off for Billerica, the catcher, number 26, Will Calzini, as he takes strike 1. Calzini, his last time up, he did strike out, but reached on a dropped third strike and then later scored on a double steal. Fouls that one off for strike 2. That is high ball 1. That's going to be high ball 2. That one just slipped out of his hand for high ball 3. Calzini battling back to a full count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. One down to start the inning, and now up for Billerica, the pitcher, number 11, Justin Poirier. First pitch high, ball 1. Poirier, his last time up, went down on strikes. And this one's lifted foul over my head and into the tree. And bounces backwards right past all my equipment. Boy, if that's not a brief heart attack. Anyway, strike 1. And that one high and inside for ball 2. That one in there, strike 2. This one low for ball 3. Full count once again. And this time hits a grounder over to third, well fielded by Engelman. Thrown to first for out number 2. Two down, bases empty, and now coming up the third baseman, number 13, Chris D'Angelo. D'Angelo reached on what was scored as an E5 his last time up, stole second, moved to third on a wild pitch, but was left stranded. That one in there, strike 1. And the off speed gets him there for strike 2. That one just a bit outside, ball 1. Hoffman trying to get him with the curve to the outside corner, but D'Angelo did not chase and just barely missed that corner. Fouled off. D'Angelo stays alive at 1-2. That one curves in, strike 3. Hoffman puts him down in order in the top of the third. We move to the bottom half of the inning, still tied at 2. We'll be cycling back to the top of Brookline's order in the bottom of the third with Sawada, Doctoroff, and Liu. You know, it's just further indication of how even these two teams have been playing so far. They're at about almost the exact same spot in their respective lineups in these innings. Billerica one batter ahead of Brookline as they had their second batter leading off in the top of the third, while Brookline's got their first leading off here in the bottom half. But the two teams playing very close so far. Poirier back on the mound for his third inning of work. And leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Shows bunt, lays it down, up the first base line. It's going to be a race. Picked up, flipped, not in time. Sawada reaches on the bunt, single. Sawada challenged Poirier to a race to first base, and Sawada comes away the winner. Sawada gives Brookline a leadoff runner on the bases, and Sawada, the team leader in runs scored with 13 in the regular season. Now up for Brookline, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. Sawada also the team leader in steals with 11. But Poirier is the lefty with that slick pickoff move, and a high ball one to start the at-bat. Sawada reached base a total of 16 times in the regular season, scored, well, actually, he reached a few more times than that on errors, but he scored 13 times. And we continue the mind games at first base. I'm telling you, as long as Poirier stays on the mound for Billerica, this is a battle that every Brookline runner is going to have to fight while on first base. Sawada takes off, Doctoroff fouls off the bunt attempt. Strike one. One and one, the count to Doctoroff. This one high, ball 2. I mean, this honestly, those high pitches could potentially be strategic with a runner at first, as that's a common tactic that pitchers use. Throw it high so the catcher has a faster motion throwing down to second. Doctoroff lifts it deep to left, and it's going to be foul and out of play. Two and two, the count to Doctoroff. And Doctoroff gets a piece of it, stays alive at 2 and 2. Almost looked a little frustrated with himself, maybe frustrated he got fooled by the low pitch. But Poirier, if he fooled Doctoroff, he also fooled Sawada, as Sawada, you could see, made a jump back to first. Hard swing from Doctoroff. It's grounder to short, fielded, flip to second, gets one. And Doctoroff reaches on the 6-4 fielder's choice. And even that play right there demonstrates the power of having a lefty pitcher, because if Poirier wasn't a lefty, Sawada probably would have stolen second, and then that fielder's choice, wouldn't be able to catch the leading runner. Justin Liu fouls off strike one. The Brookline left fielder was hit by a pitch his last time up. Now up with one out and a runner at first. Doctoroff, a delayed takeoff for second, and he slides in safe. The pitch itself was a strike, but Calzini didn't realize quick enough that Doctoroff had taken off, and so he gets the steal. Runner at second now. 0-2 the count to Liu. And Liu reaches out and pops one out to shallow left. Left fielder charging in, and he's got it on the run. Good catch by Rodriguez. Big second out get for Billerica. Now batting the pitcher, number 15, Owen Hoffman. Hoffman went down looking his last time up. Lifts one. That's going to drop in right. Doctoroff rounds third but stops and goes back. Hoffman gets the single, but a quick reaction out in right field by Diorsi holds Doctoroff at third. Big chance for Brookline here. Runners at the corners, 2 out. Now batting the right fielder, number 28, Michael Doherty. Doherty got a single his last time up, later came in to score. And Poirier smartly made sure to step off the rubber before going for, a fake one way, then the other throw. Not following that procedure perfectly cost Billerica a run the first time they faced Brookline, as a balk brought in Sawada in the first inning of that game back in July. 1-0 the count to Doherty. Doherty, hard hit grounder, but it's right at the second baseman. Fielded cleanly, thrown cleanly, and out cleanly to leave the runners stranded. Brookline threatens, but cannot get another run across. As the Billerica defense holds firm. Through 3, our score, Brookline 2, Billerica 2. Due up for Billerica in the top of the 4th will be Mello, Ronzio, and Diorsi. Owen Hoffman back on the hill for Brookline here in the top of the fourth. With Brookline having tied up the game, Mayfield-Sheehan, who pitched the first inning, now officially gets a no decision. If the lead had never changed, he would have been the pitcher credited with the loss. But now, it's just a tie game. We're waiting to see how it shakes out. Leading off for Billerica here in the top of the fourth, the shortstop, number 17, Drew Mello. First pitch, hard hit, going up the middle. Tracked by Sheehan, thrown to first is wild. And Mello's going to reach on the E6. You know, we in the tennis community would call that a forced error, as that was a pretty well hit ball by Mello, and it forced Sheehan to try and make a throw on the run as he was racing up the first base line, as Mello was racing up, that is, but still reaches on the E6 regardless. Attempted pickoff, and Mello dives back. At the plate now for Billerica, the second baseman, number 8, Thomas Ronzio. Ronzio went down on strikes his last time up. Shows bunt, lays it down. Hoffman chases it down quick, throws to first, but Ronzio does move the runner along with a sac bunt. Now batting, the right fielder, number 2, P. Diorsi. First pitch in there, strike one. Swing and a miss there, strike two. Diorsi, his last time up, he popped out to second to end the first inning. Slices this one, foul to stay alive. Out to the tennis courts there. Oh, and 2, the count. Throw back to second, but Mello dives back safe. 0-2 the count, 1 out, runner at second here on the top of the fourth. Peter Diorsi at the plate. That one inside, ball one. Looks like Diorsi was kind of waiting for that one to hit him. Would have been a good take if it did, but it curved just away from his body enough. Simply ball one. This one way high for ball two. Hits it. It's a grounder over to second, fielded by Sawada, thrown to first. They move the runner along again, but now 2 down with a runner at third. Now batting the first baseman, number 5, Boldebuck, as he takes high ball one. Boldebuck, his last time up, went down on strikes. That one hits the zone, catches the outside corner for strike one. 1-1 the count. Fouled off, strike two. 1-2 the count, 2 down, runner at third. Hits it out to left. That will drop in. Billerica takes back the lead. Boldebuck rounding first and heading down to second with an RBI double. Drew Mello in to score off the RBI double from Nathan Boldebuck. Billerica takes the 3-2 lead. Now batting the extra hitter, number 10, A. Rodriguez. First pitch high, ball 1. The Billerica dugout bringing the noise as their team takes the lead. That one gonna miss as well, ball 2. And another one high. And Doctoroff coming out briefly to talk with Hoffman, so is Engelman. Rodriguez with a relatively smaller strike zone, and Hoffman struggling with it so far. That one in there, strike 1. That one also catches the high corner, strike 2. Rodriguez thought he had the walk. But it is a full count. But that one is going to miss for ball 4. Now batting the left fielder, number 1, T. Rodriguez. 2 runners on, 2 down. Strike 1. That one fouled off, strike 2. Oh, 0-2 the count. 2 runners on, 2 down here in the top of the 4th. That one sails, gets away, but the runners hesitate. Boldebuck hesitated at second. A. Rodriguez had taken off for second, but had to go back. 1-2 the count. And a delayed swing results in a grounder. Back to Hoffman. He flips it to first for out number 3. Nathan Boldebuck with a clutch 2-out RBI double gives Billerica the lead in the top of the 4th. And let me ask you folks, does it feel like playoff baseball yet? Certainly feels like playoff baseball to me. These two teams, I mean, they're having to fight for every run that they're getting, even when they get the benefit of a defensive mistake. You know, like Mello reached on the E6 to start the inning, but You know, Billerica really needed to do everything in its power just to get that one run across. And both teams have really been fighting like that. I mean, this is the kind of down to the wire stuff that you want in a good baseball game. Due up in the bottom of the fourth for Brookline will be Sheehan, DePaulo, and Rosenblatt. Poirier back on the mound for Billerica. If he completes his fourth inning of work here and holds the lead, he will become the pitcher potentially on credit for the win. Brookline trying to come back for the second time today. They came back from a 2-0 deficit. Now facing another deficit, this one 3-2. Leading off for Brookline, the shortstop, number 7, Caden Sheehan. First pitch curves in, strike one. Sheehan, his last time up, grounded into what would have been a fielder's choice, but everyone reached safely because of an E4. And Sheehan came in to score on the 2-run single by Charlie Engelman. 1-1 now the count. That one in there, strike two. I think he was expecting that pitch to drop lower, but it stayed in the zone for strike two. Brief timeout called. And he hits a high hopper over to short, fielded cleanly by Mello, but the throw is high. Sheehan, the beneficiary of another throwing mistake by the Billerica infield as he reaches on the E6. Runner at first. Now up comes the extra hitter, number 21, Jimmy DePaulo. DePaulo, his last time up, simply laid down a sac bunt. And doesn't look like he's bunting here as he swings and misses for strike one. Chase it in the dirt again, and that'll be strike two. Briefly gets away from Calzini, but not far enough for Sheehan to make a jump for second. 0-2 the count. DePaulo hits a grounder, takes a hop off the mound, fielded it short, flipped to second. They got one on to first, not in time. Throw gets away. DePaulo slipped and fell on the base paths. He's got to get back to first, and he does. Throw briefly got away, but it's a short distance between first base and the right field and the fence going up the right field, so simply a 6-4 fielder's choice. DePaulo at first, one down. Up comes the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. First pitch inside, ball one. Rosenblatt, last time up, he lined out to the second baseman, hoping to be able to move the runner this time. That one in there for strike one. This one fouled off. Rosenblatt gets jammed inside for strike two. That one is low for ball 2. Just a bit outside, ball 3. Full count here to Rosenblatt. And he fouls it off. A tight battle at the plate here in the 4th inning. Rosenblatt against Poirier. They've got a full count with 1 out and a runner at first. And he lifts one, going to stay in the infield, and it's going to be an easy catch at second for out number 2. Two down, runner at first. Up comes the baseman, number 2, Charlie Engelman. Engelman had the big 2-run single his last time up. Big swing and a miss there, strike 1. That one catches the high corner, strike 2. Engelman behind early, 0-2. Engelman sliced this one, going to be playable, and Boldebuck's got it for out number 3. We are through 4 here on the first day of the Tournament of Champions here at Warren Field in Brookline. Our score after 4, Billerica 3, Brookline 2. During this 4th inning intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Community Foundation. For over 100 years, the Brookline Community Foundation has been a trusted partner, supporting Brookline by investing in organizations and initiatives that help create opportunity and promote equity for everyone who lives, learns, works, and plays in our community. Among the foundation's many grant programs is the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School, which provides graduating BHS students with scholarships to help fund post-secondary education. To date, 81 not including this year, that is, 81 BHS students have received scholarships from this fund to help them as they build their futures. Your support is crucial to supporting Brookline youth as they embark on the next steps in their educational journeys. Visit brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442 to learn more about the BCF Scholarship Fund for Brookline High School and how you can make a difference right here in Brookline. Once again, brooklinecommunity.org or call 617-566-4442. And as always, you can find all that same information about our local charity spotlight down in the description section down below. Leading off for Billerica here on the top of the 5th, the center fielder, number 27, Jamieson. First pitch outside, ball 1. Jamieson singled and scored his first time up. Second time up, grounded out to the pitcher. And fouls that one up the left field side for strike 1. That one bouncing in the dirt for ball 2. And he lifts this one foul, and it's out of play. 2-2 now the count. That one outside. Jamieson thought about it, but checked his swing, and it's a full count. And that's going to be a high ball 4. Jamieson fights his way to a leadoff walk. Now coming up, the catcher, number 26, Will Calzini. Pickoff attempt. Bit of a dangerous throw, but Rosenblatt keeps it from getting away from him as Jamieson dives back. Calzini 0 for 2 today with a pair of strikeouts, but he does have a run scored. Jamieson taking off for second, pitches a ball. Oh, he's out! He's out. I'm not sure if Sawada got him on the initial tag or if he stepped off of second. But either way, Jamieson is out at second. That one's going to be high for, I believe, ball 2. No, it's in fact 1-1. First pitch was a strike. That one in there, strike 2. And he lifts this one deep out to center. Lou tracking it and under it for out number 2. It was good, powerful contact by Calzini, just hung in the air a little bit too long and a little too straight away into center field. 2 down, bases empty, and now comes the pitcher, number 11, Justin Poirier. First pitch going to miss for ball 1. Like I said, now that he has pitched 4 innings as the starting pitcher, Poirier officially qualifies for the win on the mound. Assuming there are no lead changes the rest of the way, as that one catches the outside corner for strike 1. Poirier 0 for 2 today with a strikeout and a groundout. And he hits a grounder, and it gets away. Poirier reaches on the E5. It's been a tough day in the infield for these two teams. And with the game as relatively low scoring as it's been so far, it might just come down to which team makes fewer mistakes. Now batting the third baseman, number 13, Chris D'Angelo. That one drops low for ball 1. D'Angelo 0 for 2. He's reached on an E5 and struck out. That's a hard grounder, but fielded cleanly by Engelman, and a simple 5-4 fielder's choice to end the inning. We move to the bottom of the 5th, and it's still a 1-run ball game. Billerica 3, Brookline 2. Brookline will be sending its 10-1-2 hitters to the plate, Skeffington, Sawada, and Doctoroff. Looks like we've got a defensive substitution at first base for Billerica. Number 42, Lee Powell, taking over at first for Boldebuck. As Poirier returns to the mound for his 5th inning of work. His team holding on to a narrow 1-run lead. Now leading off for Brookline, the left fielder, number 12, James Skeffington, tries to bunt but gets under it and fouls it out of play for strike 1. Skeffington, his last time up, flew out to center field to end the 2nd inning. Shows bunt again and fouls it off a 2nd time. Poirier not letting him get those bunts down easy. Skeffington against Billerica only played in the July game. Finished that one 0 for 3 with a walk and a run. And he lifts this one deep out to left. Left fielder going back, and he's got it for out number 1. One out here in the bottom of the 5th, and we cycle around to the top of the order with the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada 1 for 2 so far today, a line out to short and a bunt single. Takes strike 1 there. That one drops low for ball 1. That one is going to miss outside, ball 2. 2-1 the count. And Sawada lines it right back to Poirier. Good reflexes by the Billerica pitcher. Gets the 2nd out of the inning. Now batting, the catcher, number 8, Ben Doktoroff. First pitch curves in, strike 1. Doktoroff 0 for 2 so far today. He's popped out to first and grounded into a fielder's choice. Takes strike 2. Lifts one, and it's going to drop in right field. A low defensive swing for Doktoroff, and it lands in exactly the right place for a 2-out single. Wind might have helped a bit on that one as it was blowing a bit towards home. Runner at first, and they're going to bring in a courtesy runner for Doktoroff. They're going to bring in Sawada to run in Doktoroff's place. They can have him be a courtesy runner since Doktoroff is the catcher. Now batting for Brookline, the left fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. That one misses for ball 1. Liu so far today, 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch and a fly out to left. Sawada takes off, pitches high for a ball. It's going to be close at second, and they got him. Great throw down to second by Calzini. Brookline tried to get aggressive on the base paths, and it did not work out. And again, you see, I feel like a broken record, but you see the product of having a lefty pitcher with a good pickoff move and what that does. Runners can't get the same kind of jump towards second. And so when your catcher makes a good throw like Calzini did, your odds of catching the runner just skyrocket. Going into the top of the sixth, still a one-run ball game, but Brookline running out of outs to work with as Hoffman returns to the mound for another inning of relief work. He's been very strong on the mound so far today, allowing just one unearned run. But that one unearned run is the difference here, so if we don't see a lead change, Hoffman will be the pitcher on credit for the loss. Due up for Billerica in the top of the sixth is going to be Mello, Ronzio, and Diorsi. Leading off for Billerica, the shortstop, number 17, Drew Mello. First pitch low, ball one. Mello, his last time up, he reached on an E6 to lead off the fourth inning and later came in to score on Boldebuck's go-ahead RBI double as he takes strike one there. Before that, Mello reached on a walk. So 0 for 1 with a walk, a steal, and a run. But he has technically reached base both of his plate appearances. That one's going to miss, ball three. This one's a blooper, and it's caught by Rosenblatt for out number one. Almost a bit of a collision course between the infielders, but Rosenblatt gets the catch for out number one. Now batting the second baseman, number 8, Thomas Ronzio. First pitch, and it's a high hopper over the pitcher, but charging in and taking it is Sawada, but the throw cannot be scooped by Rosenblatt, and Ronzio going to reach on the E4. And we've got a pinch hitter coming up for Billerica. This is number 19, Unzis, batting in place of Peter Diorsi. That one going to miss slow for ball one. We've got a few extra comments in the live chat from Bandito. Let's go Brookline. Swing and a miss, strike one. From Peter QB 24, go Brookline. Uncle Pete from Denver. And from Joe Campagna, as an attempted pickoff is not in time. Joe Campagna says, loved coaching in the Tompkins League during summers, and remember the founder, Lou Tompkins, fondly. He was from Bedford and did a great job overseeing the league until his death. This one lifted deep to left center, and they're not going to catch up to it. And Lou kind of slipped and fell, but gets back up and rifles it back into the infield. It's a deep single for Unzis. And now batting in place of Boldebuck, the first baseman, number 42, Li Pao. Shows bunt, lays it down. Hoffman gets it, throw to first in time. Successful sac bunt for Li Pao. That'll be out number 2. Puts runners at second and third. For the extra hitter, number 10, A. Rodriguez. First pitch briefly gets away, but the runners hold. Two down, runners at second and third. Billerica trying to add to a 1-run lead. That one comes in way high for ball 2. Reaches out, hits a bouncer over to second, juggled by Sawada, but he recovers and throws to first in time to avoid disaster. Billerica brings a serious threat but cannot extend their lead. They do still have the lead, though, going into the bottom of the 6th. Billerica 6 outs away from advancing into the winner's bracket with an upset win, but Brookline just 1 run away from tying this one up. Due up for Brookline will be the 3, 4, 5 hitters, Lou, Hoffman, and Doherty, as Lou did not get to finish his at-bat last inning as the runner was caught stealing. Billerica sticking with Poirier, and I don't see any reason why they wouldn't. He's been doing a very strong job for the visitors here today. And again, his ability to limit what the runners can do on the base paths has done a lot for Billerica, especially in a tight defensive game like this. Returning to the plate for Brookline, the left fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. Liu 0 for 1 with a hit by pitch so far today. First pitch shows bunt but pulls back as it comes in low for ball 1. Liu hits a grounder over to second, fielded cleanly by Ronzio for out number 1. Now batting the pitcher, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch in there, strike 1. Hoffman 1 for 2 so far today with a single and a strikeout. Takes that one inside for ball 1. That one is going to miss, ball 2. That one in there, strike 2. 2-2, the count to Hoffman. Brief timeout. That one skips in the dirt, ball 3. It's a full count with 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th. Hoffman hits a hard one, bouncing out the middle, but it's snagged by Ronzio. Throw to first is in time. Well tracked up the middle by Thomas Ronzio for the 4-3 ground out, 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. At the plate for Brookline now, the right fielder, number 28, Michael Doherty. That one in over his head for ball 1. Doherty 1 for 2 so far today with a run scored. Lifts one, and this is high and playable in shallow center. Several players calling for it. They drop it! Everyone got confused. It looked like Mello might have been under it, but Jamieson called for it, not realizing how shallow it was going to drop. Not sure if you call that a single or an E8. I feel like that's got to be an error on somebody, but I don't know. That's something I'll check back on later. But either way, Brookline gets a bit of a break. And now batting is the shortstop, number 7, Mayfield-Sheehan. Brookline going to try the pinch runner strategy again. And this is a recent returnee for Brookline. This is Devin Chin now pinch running. Throw back to first. Chin is back safely. Devin Chin was Brookline's primary speedster last summer. As they check on him again, because you know when the other team brings in a pinch runner in a 1-run game, you know what they're trying to do. And he thought about going, and maybe he should have as it gets away from the catcher, but hesitated too much and goes back. It'll be ball 1 to Sheehan. Chin last summer had 15 steals and 18 runs scored. Swing and a miss from Sheehan there, strike 1. Sheehan 0 for 2 so far today as this one skips in low for ball 2. Sheehan has grounded into what should have been a fielder's choice and grounded into what should have been a ground out, but was the beneficiary of an error both times. And now Chin takes off, slides in safe. The pitch itself was strike 2 as Sheehan was caught looking. But Chin does move into scoring position. But Sheehan still has to hit him in. 2-2 the count, 2 down, runner at second. And a timeout is called. Sheehan lifts one out to left, but it looks like it's going to be right at the left fielder for out number 3. We are through 6 here at Warren Field in Brookline, Massachusetts. Our score here in the first game of the Tournament of Champions, Billerica 3, Brookline 2. It'll be the 10-1-2 hitters coming up for Billerica: T. Rodriguez, Jamieson, and Calzini. And we're going to see a new pitcher on the mound for Brookline, as it looks like they are subbing out Hoffman. Now coming onto the mound for Brookline is number 18, Tae Toe. Toe has made 1 relief appearance so far this season. He pitched 2 innings, 2 shutout innings, earned the save. Has a whip of 1.00 and 3 strikeouts from that appearance. Not eligible for any kind of save here. But he's just going to be hoping to hold down the fort and give Brookline a chance to come back in the bottom half. Brookline down to their final 3 outs, but first, they've got to try and keep the lead slim here in the top half of the inning. Meeting of the infield for Brookline. Now begins the 7th and final inning. Leading off for Billerica, the left fielder, number 1, Tevin Rodriguez. First pitch in there, strike 1. Oh, actually, I think this is someone different. This is not Rodriguez, as he fouls it off for strike 2. This is number 00, Kevin O'Brien. Takes high ball 1. That one just a bit inside, ball 2. 2-2 the count. Swing and a miss, strike 3. O'Brien goes down swinging for the first out of the inning. Now batting the center fielder, number 27, Jamieson. First pitch outside, ball 1. Jamieson 1 for 2 with a walk so far today, as he sliced this one foul for strike 1. Slices it foul again, strike 2. That one misses outside, ball 2. Some action going in the Billerica pen. We might see a different pitcher in the bottom half of the inning. As again, it's fouled off. Jamieson keeps fighting with a 2-2 count. Brief timeout called. That one high for ball 3. And that's going to be a low ball 4. Jamieson with the fight. Good fight at the plate by Jamieson to get the free pass down to first. Now batting the catcher, number 26, Will Calzini. First pitch in there, strike 1. That one fouled off for strike 2. That one just misses outside, ball 1. This one fouled off as well. Calzini stays alive at 1-2. Calzini 0 for 3 with a run scored. And that one is high for ball 2. The Billerica hitters not making this easy for Toe on the mound, making him fight for every strike. This one also sliced foul. First it was Jamieson fouling off a number of pitches to stay alive. Now it's Calzini. But that one is in there, strike 3. Throw back to the pitcher briefly got away, but recovered in time. Now batting the pitcher, number 11, Justin Poirier. Toe takes a beat off the rubber. Pitch gets away, and Jamieson reacts immediately. That's going to be ball one, and Jamieson takes second on the wild pitch. Runner now in scoring position for Billerica. That throw is low, but this time well blocked by Dr. Off. It'll be ball two. And he rips one out to center, and it's going to drop and bounce past the center fielder. This is going to bring in another run for Billerica as Poirier runs down to second. Center fielder looked like he slipped and fell out there, and that is going to bring in a run. So now with two down, a runner at second, and now a two-run lead. Up comes the third baseman, number 13, Chris D'Angelo. Pitch is low for ball one. This one laced out to left, but a good catch out in left by Lou, and that is going to end the inning. Billerica adds a critical insurance run to their cause. They now lead Brookline by 2 and are just 3 outs away from moving ahead in the winner's bracket. Big question for this inning is who is going to take the mound. Is Poirier going to go for the complete game, or are they bringing someone in from the bullpen? We did see someone warming up, but it looks like they are going to stick with Poirier. And I would agree with that. Stick with the hot hand till it's not hot anymore, especially with, again, what he's done to limit the base runner's effectiveness. Due up for Brookline in the bottom of the 7th is going to be DePaulo, Rosenblatt, and Engelman. Here's the last of the warm-up throws. And now here we go. Brookline down to their final 3 outs, trailing by 2. Sliced foul by DePaulo for strike one. The extra hitter, number 21, Jimmy DePaulo, he was the hero of the hour for Brookline in their game against Billerica last week. Can he get things started here? He is 0 for 1 so far with a sac bunt, as that one's going to miss for ball one. Chases it in the dirt, strike two. It's been a problem for DePaulo in previous at-bats. Chasing curveballs low. He's now staring down a 1-2 count. Hits a grounder right back to Poirier, and he gets it to first for out number one. Now batting, the first baseman, number 17, Adam Rosenblatt. And he hits a high hopper. Charging in as the shortstop, and he juggles it. On the exchange from glove to hand, he cannot make the transition. And Rosenblatt reaches on the E6. Now batting the third baseman, number 2, Charlie Engelman. Engelman, of course, had the big 2-run single that has so far produced Brookline's only runs today. First pitch going to miss outside, ball one. Engelman, his last time out, he popped out to first, so he's 1 for 2 today. That one also going to miss, ball two. And that one in the dirt, ball three. A 3-0 count to Engelman. Shows bunt, pulls back, takes ball four. Who shows bunt on a 3-0 count? You wonder if that was just some kind of a psych play by Engelman there, just to get in the pitcher's head as he draws a 4-pitch walk. The tying runs on the bases and a meeting at the mound now with Poirier. Looks like we got a pinch hitter coming up for Brookline, going to be batting in place of Skeffington. This is going to be number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. Billerica going to stick with Poirier with 1 out, tying run at first. At the plate, number 11, Jackson Fantuzzi. First pitch high, ball one. Fantuzzi during the regular season had a solid hitting line of 409, 458, 455 with 3 runs scored and 5 RBI. That one misses outside, ball two. Two and 0, the count to Fantuzzi. Engelman at first, Rosenblatt at second. Fouls it off, strike one. This first round playoff game coming down to the wire out here in Brookline. 4-2, Billerica leads with 1 out in the bottom of the 7th, but Brookline with 2 runners on. That one comes in low for ball three. 3-1, the count to Fantuzzi. And that's ball 4. Back-to-back walks from Poirier have loaded the bases. Another meeting at the mound, and this might be the end of the day for Justin Poirier. If it is, what an excellent day on the mound he has had, regardless of how this finishes out. Brookline's going to bring Skeffington back in to run for Fantuzzi, get a little bit more speed on the bags. And we are going to see a new pitcher. Taking over on the hill for Billerica is going to be number 8, Thomas Ronzio. Looks like they're going to bring in number 7, A. Diorsi, to play second base in place of Ronzio. Ronzio was the starting pitcher for Billerica when they played against Brookline at home back in July. He lasted 4 innings, gave up 6 runs, but all of them unearned. As I said, that game back in July was a very messy game. Ronzio gave up 7 hits and 2 walks while striking out 3. But Billerica just needs 2 outs from him. He's going to be facing the top of the Brookline order, starting with Keenan Sawada. Very interesting situation here. Sawada 1 for 3 so far today. His only hit so far a bunt single. His other 2 at-bats, he's hit liners right at fielders. 1 at the shortstop, 1 at the pitcher. Brookline hoping that this player, more known for his speed and his glove, might be able to lift one to the outfield here. Get at least 1 run in. Adam Rosenblatt at third, Charlie Engelman at second, James Skeffington at first. At the plate is the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch inside, ball 1. The Brookline dugout bringing the noise here. That's one other threat about Sawada, is the threat of a walk. A walk would bring in a run here as Ronzio takes a beat off the rubber. And it's a very intense situation for Ronzio to be coming in as a reliever here. 1-0 the count. That one in there, strike 1. 1-1, now the count. That one is high for ball 2. 2-1, the count to Sawada. In there, strike 2. 2-2. Now the count. Bases loaded, 1 out. 4-2 the score in favor of Billerica here in the bottom of the 7th. Fouls it off and stays alive. This is edge of your seats type stuff here. Reaches out and misses. Strike 3. Ronzio caught him chasing, trying to defend the plate. Brookline down to their final out. Their last chance will be the catcher, number 8, Ben Doctoroff. After that brief meeting at the mound, we now reset. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 2-run ball game. First pitch in there, strike 1. Doctoroff so far today, 1 for 3. Brookline wants a hit desperately here. Check swing foul, strike 2. Brookline down to their final strike. 0-2 the count, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Bases loaded. Brookline trailing Billerica by 2. Reaches out, hits a dribbler over to third, and it's juggled! Recovered by the shortstop, throws not in time! 1 run comes in, we're not done! A huge hustle up the first baseline by Doctoroff. I don't know if they're going to call that a single or an E5, but either way, 1 run in. Rosenblatt in to score. It's a 1-run ball game with the bases loaded. Brookline subbing in a courtesy runner for the catcher. They're bringing in Devin Chin to run for Doctoroff. At the plate, the new last chance for Brookline, the left fielder, number 44, Justin Liu. So I think, okay, it's not Chin who's going to run for Doctoroff. It's going to be Sawada. So a little bit confusion about how exactly to follow the legalities of the runner substitution rules. But now here we are, bases loaded, 2 down, 1-run ball game. 1 swing could decide this for either side. And a check swing foul. Justin Liu, 0 for 2 so far today with a hit by pitch, a flyout, and a ground out. Brookline needs him desperately to move the runners and keep them alive. It hit him! It hit him! We're tied! Justin Liu with a game-tying hit by pitch. Engelman trots home. And just like that, the pressure now all on the other side. Brookline now with a chance to win. But we are now 1 out away from extra innings. Justin Liu getting plunked for the second time today. And he gets a bases-loaded hit by pitch to score Engelman and tie us up at 4 each. That insurance run from the top half of the 7th, huge for Billerica. And now at the plate, hoping to end it, the center fielder, number 15, Owen Hoffman. First pitch misses, ball 1. Hoffman was the center fielder that slipped and fell, which might have helped a run to score in the top half. Hard to say. Might have scored anyway, but either way, he is now here at the plate, hoping to send Brookline into the winner's bracket. Pitch inside, ball 2. If that one had hit him, it would have been a walk-off hit by pitch, but not far enough inside. 2-0. Chases it low, strike 1. Well covered by Calzini. Remember, all it takes is 1 run, so if anything gets past Calzini, that could end the game. So a good block there. 2-1, the count to Hoffman. Skeffington, the potential winning run at third. Hoffman lifts one, but it's going to stay in the infield and be caught for out number 3. Folks, it's time for those 2 magic words. Extra innings. Brookline ties it up by the skin of their teeth in the bottom of the 7th with 2 outs. Uh-oh. Are they discussing things? And, oh, are they going to call this? Oh, they're going to call this due to darkness. We don't have lights out here at Warren. Are we going to be postponing this? So what do we do here? Are we continuing tomorrow? Oh my God. It's going to stop for a tie due to darkness. And we're going to have to pick this up at some other time. This is unbelievable. I don't know what to say, folks. I mean, the game's not over, but it's over for today. And I assume it's going to continue at some point because this is the playoffs. We can't end in a tie. But this is where we're going to stand at the end of tonight. Brookline 4, Billerica 4. All right. Definitely not how I expected this night to end, but c'est la vie, I guess. I'll try and keep my nose to the ground, find out how this is going to follow up, and hopefully I'll have part 2 of this contest whenever that happens. Thank you all so much for tuning in for this live stream of most of this game. Remember, if you enjoyed the live stream, be sure to hit the like button. and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams, especially in this case, because I'll be, putting up a stream link for whenever I find out when this game is going to be. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything you'd like to say and the live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. Also go down below to the description section of the video for all the info you need on our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Community Foundation. Check out the bottom right corner of your screen for more information about me. The URL to my personal website, jessesports.com. You can also, on that website, you can find out more about me, the freelance services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. You can also email me directly with any questions or requests you may have, and you can also follow me on Instagram, where I sometimes post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, this is unbelievably where we're going to end it. At the end of 7, the score, Brookline 4, Billerica 4, to be continued, as they say. Not often in sports, but in this case, we are going to be saying to be continued. From Warren Fields, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.